Hello, YouTube. It is Denver Prepper. Yeah, it's been a long time. You can yell at me later. This one is, I think, a timely update. A friend of mine recently, well, not so recently, about 6 months ago, accused me of saying a lot about guns, but really not much about honest-to-God prepping. And yeah, I did some more opinion-related pieces about the world and everything else, yes, but not real advice. Like, not real advice how I had learned to prep. After I got angry about it, I kind of realized she was right. So, this will be the first in a very long series of actual educational videos, how I learned how to do things, and what advice I got, and where I got the advice. Okay? She says, I know nothing about prepping, but where do I start? And so I basically had to dismantle my whole philosophy and say, well, where did I start? When I knew nothing, where did I go? Well, of course, there's YouTube, Such, and lots of other guys, you know, that prep, practical nerd, or sorry, Patriot Nurse, sorry, Rachel, you know, for the more medical stuff, which I don't know about, all these other resources. But before you even knew about that, what made me want to prep? All you need to do is read CNN, MSNBC, any news source, and we're seeing not only how divided our country is politically, and becoming more so, but how that's opening power gaps in different places for our country. The state of address, you know, Obama proclaiming that he will do anything that he can do, and he will do it via executive action. Well, you know, I don't know about you, and you may have voted for him, that's fine. That's a scary statement. That's a bold statement, and a statement that tells me we're not going to be safe for much longer. So, you know, on with the show, so to speak. Where did I get started? I realized that I inventoried my freezer and my refrigerator, my cupboards and everything else, and I realized that I had planned meals. So I had spaghetti sauce for spaghetti, and I had spaghetti, and I had the hamburger for the sauce and everything else, but that was one unit. I didn't have a philosophy of, I can take this piece, and this piece, and this piece, and this piece, and make a meal out of it, right? It was always planned stuff, and that kind of forces you into a shopping pattern. So what I did is stuff that I would eat normally, like Spam. Now, I don't normally eat Spam, but this is fairly nutritious for you. Ton of protein, fat and cholesterol, yes. But I started eating Spam after we had a camping trip in July of last year. We were up in the mountains, and it was cold, even for July. I mean, the daily temps were nearing hundreds in the city. We get up there, and it had dropped to 60. And that was during the day. Once the sun had gone down, it really dropped. It got cold. We're probably talking 30, maybe 40, you know. But that was a very cold, miserable night. Having some egg whites in a carton and some Spam, having a hot meal was a real morale booster. We were cold, you know, we were shivering while making breakfast, but once we got that in us, our energy returned, our optimism returned, everything else. So that kind of showed me that even though it's somewhat of a mainstream buy, having that hot stuff in your belly is a real morale booster. It helps you have a better outlook on life. And so I went ahead and bought more of the Spam, and yes, chili. Again, I'm a chili fanatic. I love chili con carne with all of my heart. I go to contests, I compete in contests at the times. I'm a fanatic. Now when I can't make it, this is the best, I'll say best. I like Stag better, but Stag's expensive, and this was like, I don't know, 18 cents with a coupon. This is the best option there was at the time. I can still get my chili fix. You know, it's not the greatest, of course, but I can still get my chili fix, still get, you know, as normal to my diet as I can possibly get with cans. So my first advice to you is just buy more of what you eat. If you eat a lot of spaghetti, just buy more spaghetti. It's dry. Put it in an airtight container. It'll last forever. If you eat a lot of chili, buy chili. If you eat a lot of chicken, buy chicken. You can dehydrate it into jerky. You can make lots of different meals out of it. It's a pretty mild meat, so you can flavor it with a lot of things. You know, so my first rule, I suppose, is to just buy what you already eat and just buy more of it. Now, chicken does, rot occasionally, and cans have a good shelf life, about 2 years. But after that, you kind of got to rotate it out. So, what is the next kind of a tier of foods that aren't going to upset your stomach, and you would kind of eat them anyway? Stuff like, let's see. Now this is what you would call survival food. There's a bunch of different tiers, and we'll go through those. But this is actually just ground beef. That's all it is. It is about $15 for the can, which is really expensive. I get it, but this has a much longer shelf life than. I picked this one up at Rapid Fire Bunker, but this has a great shelf life, and it actually tastes like ground beef when you get it out of the can. Heat it up, and you got tacos, you got lasagna, you got spaghetti, anything that you can use ground beef for. And this is shelf stable, so you don't, if your freezer goes out, well, what are you gonna do? So we have that. Okay, so that's gonna be your next kind of tier. There are other things like granola bars, Cliff bars. Those are awesome things to keep on hand, and here's why. They're light. You can pack them easily. You already eat them as it is. I eat a ton of Cliff bars. I just don't have it on me at the time. Yeah, I know. That's tomorrow shopping. The Cliff bars, the granola bars, they're great. They are shelf stable. They do contain hydrogenated oils. So, if you're completely afraid of trans fats, you may want to avoid the majority of them, with the exception of Tiger's Milk and Cliff bars. Those do not contain oils, but they're still nuts and things like that you have to contend with. There are those things. There's rices. Rice, you just pop in a big, 5-gallon bucket and leave it. Costco sells an Augustin Farms emergency kit. That's rice and beans, basically. Good on its own, not so much. But if you buy that along with maybe a Wise kit, you can use both to extend those servings beyond anything that you can imagine. And we'll get to those in a second. Your next survival foods are going to be more your shelf-stable stuff. But it can be also fun. Like this little kit right here. Again, picked it up at Rapid Fire Bunker. We were in the mountains. The kids were complaining, hey, there's nothing fun to eat. No chocolate, no nothing like that. That's shelf-stable. And so I had kind of said, well, yeah, they're right. Now, this specific model is not shelf-stable. You will have to eat this within 6 months of purchase. But there are fun foods out there that, in fact, are shelf-stable. Wise makes they make a really amazing blueberry cobbler. Let's see, Augustin Farms has number 10 cans full of peach cobbler, blueberry, apple pie, things of that nature. So there are fun things, okay? The next are pretty processed and shelf-stable, but kind of cool. So here in Colorado, we recently got a ton of snow. Not as much as the East Coast is getting, but a ton. And so we lost power and water for a little while. What are you going to do? It's cold outside. I need food. Well, these hot cans come to the rescue. They make tomato soup. Sorry, get the camera. They make tomato soup. They make clam chowder, tea, a few other different products. These are awesome. All you do, flip it over, take the lid off, and you push. What that does is that activates a chemical around the can that really heats it up. This stuff gets hot. And you pour it out, and it tastes exactly like Campbell's. This stuff is delicious. I do like tomato soup. And the stuff is delicious. They also make a tea that kind of does the same thing. I not really like the tea so much because it's not. They put cream and sugar, and I don't take my tea that way. I take it black. But you know, if you need a pick-me-up, so to speak, that's perfect for you. Now, this next product is more tongue-in-cheek, but it's still delicious. So I'm gonna hide the label from you until I tell you about it. This was a gag purchase, really, is what it was. But I cracked the can on one of the ones I bought, and it's delicious. And yes, tactical bacon. There's a ton of bacon in here. Okay, it doesn't look like much, but there's a ton of bacon. It is greasy. I will give you that. Just pat the slices dry, and it really is delicious bacon. And there's a lot of it. I bought this as one of those, you know, zombie prep kind of things that's kind of tongue-in-cheek, and you put it on the shelf and you display it because it's funny. Well, this is can number 4. One day I got hungry. I needed a BLT like nothing else. Burger King wasn't selling them at the time. Couldn't get one. So I got curious, and I cracked the can. And this bacon is one of the most delicious bacons I've ever had. It's crisp. It was crisp, that's right, after I dried it off. It laid on the sandwich well. It was flat. I could stack things on it. Recommended. If you have even a slight bacon fancy, get yourself one of those. Now those are the more shelf-stable, but yet really not hardcore emergency, you know, preps kind of thing. The next stuff I'm going to show you is more the hardcore prep, okay? Now, I know that before, I'm sure you guys have seen 3600 bars and mainstays and everything else. I have some of those, I'll show you. But they come in different sizes. So, this one is a smaller version of, okay, and you know, this is expires January 2018. So, it's good for a while. This is about 1200 calories. Okay, so this is the 3600 bar you know and love so well. They're delicious. If you love lemon pound cake, you will snarf these down. They are delicious. Shelf stable, light. This is about a pound. So you can pop this in the bottom of a backpack or whatever if you're going out for the day, and you have something if you need to rely on it. Now, if you don't want to, you know, snarf one of these down, and you can, trust me, they're delicious. You can carry these smaller packs, and I got both of these at Ferris Survival. I know Rapid Fire Bunker sells them as well. I just happened to be near Ferris when I bought them. These ones right here are, I think, a little bit better. They're not. This one might have a hole in it because it's floppy, and it should be, you know. But oh, I don't see one. Anyway, these are fabulous tasting. They're light. They have a ton of calories in them. So if, like, these two are for my car kit, okay? So if I'm stuck in the snow somewhere, I have food, I can feed my kids, you know, stuff like that. But these, I can't say enough about them. You will get fat if you eat a lot of them. I can tell you that from personal experience. But these are a great food source. These are more the prepper food sources, if you will, okay? For these, you're gonna pay between, this was what, $3, and this was an even tenner. Now you're saying $10 for a, you know, for a block of pound cake. Well, yeah, but it's pound cake that you don't have to eat for 5 years, and it'll last you a ton of calories. Very, very healthy. Now we're gonna get into the more of the survival food. I've got some Mountain House. I got some Wise. My Agassiz Farms is packed away, so I'll show you that as well. So this stuff's going to run you more money, okay? Now, this is survival butter. And I know what you're thinking, it's dry, and it is dry and chalky, yes. I know what you're thinking, it's disgusting. No, this stuff tastes like ghee. Ghee's clarified butter. this stuff is amazing tasting. I bought this at Ferris Survival as well. Now, the good thing about buying from Ferris or from Rapid Fire Bunker is if you're not sure you like the taste, they'll crack it open and let you have it, and let you taste it. Ferris, he had one of these on display. We popped it on a cracker, on a Ritz, and it was knocked me over. This, to me, was better than, the butter, like Land O'Lakes. It was nice and spreadable. It was so creamy on the palate. It's like tasting double butter. It was delicious, and this is good for 15 years. Let's see. 2021. April 2021 is when it expires. So, it's... got a little. Next are Mountain House meals. I've got... This is the chicken Alfredo, and then the chili mac with beef. This one, to me, is much better. However, this one is delicious too. Okay, now, so this is a Mountain House meal. This is camping food. All you do is dump in 8 ounces of boiling water. You leave it to the side for 9 minutes. You got a meal. Let's see. These are lower sodium meals. Looks like you're looking at 2 servings here. Yeah, this is about a 2 serving bag. But if you are out and you're hiking, you'll probably need both servings. These are delicious. These are about $7 a meal, less if you buy in bulk. Walmart has these. Target has them. Let's see. I bought this at Gander Mountain. Sportsman's Warehouse has them, so they're pretty readily available. Whenever I'm at those places, I buy 3 or 4 of these, and these are delicious. These are really, really good. Fair warning to you: buy one, crack it open, have it. Okay, prepare it to the directions exactly, and then have it. The Alfredo tends to run a tad salty, so I have to add another maybe 2 teaspoons to kind of mitigate that real salty taste. But these are fabulous. Okay. I would say, if you can, invest in stuff like that. Now, those are more expensive. There's a lot of people who don't have that kind of money. So, you can save up and buy this very expensive survival food. Yes, tuna. Awesome protein. This is, what, 6 ounces? 5 ounces. This can easily go anywhere you want it to go. Dump off the water. You have a ready made meal right then and there. All you need is a P38 with it. There you go. The pouch stuff is also very, very good. I do the cans just because I got like 20 of them for $10 at Costco. This is good, wholesome fish. Some people worry about mercury and other things. If that's you, that's fine. But this is delicious fish. And I guarantee you will eat this. You can also pop it into, of course, tuna noodle casserole, which I love. Some other people completely hate it. But you have that. Another thing that a lot of people don't think about is cheap beer. Okay? Yes, this is Budweiser. No, I hate Budweiser. I don't drink it. But if you were to dump this into one of those meals and boil it over, you have some extra flavor and some extra calories. This is... I don't think there are those calories on cans of beer. But this is probably maybe 200 calories. It's going to be yeasty. It's going to be bready. It's going to add liquid. Now, yes, it has alcohol in it, but you may want to do that as well. Now, cans of beer are heavy. You could run into something to that effect. And finally, after all this survival food, we have the actual supply kits. Alright, this is a Wise supply kit. This has 120 servings. It's 120 servings of mainly entrees. You're not going to get... They have, in this kit, in these types of kits, they have an entree kit, which this is. They have a breakfast kit, which is about... See, this one was $2.50, I think, at Rapid Fire Bunker. It seems expensive, but there's a ton of food in here. Just this kit alone will last me probably a little over a month. Just this alone, not including the other stuff we have. So just this one bucket alone will last me about a month, a little over. Now you're thinking 120 servings, that's 3 a day, that's about 40 days, but what if you're a big eater? Have no worries. Each one of these servings is basically supersized, okay? I had a serving of the lasagna and I had a serving of the chicken Alfredo. I could not finish both servings, and I'm a big eater, okay, folks? I think, Kathy, if you know me, I'm a big eater. I could not finish that food. It was just too much. I was full about 3/4 of the way through. So really, this could last you even longer if you're ingenious with leftovers. So these kind of kits are more the extreme survival kits. I definitely recommend Wise. I definitely recommend Mountain House. Agassiz Farms is good, but don't use them alone. So if I've got the Agassiz Farm grain kit, which is the rice and the beans. Again, full proteins. You're going to get a little sick of it, but it's full protein right there, ready to go. Now, if I use those with that kit, I'm going to extend my servings, I mean, probably by a good another month. Okay, and so, you know, pick up a few of those, and for a while, you'd be set. So I know that there's going to be questions. I know there's going to be some hey, what if this, hey, what if that. Please ping me in the comments, let me know, and we'll go over it. I wanted to go over one more thing before we sign off for today, and that is a good tool, okay? This is a Leatherman multi-tool. I think new, this was about $100. This has a saw in it, you know, other types of tools, screwdrivers, things like that. I bought mine for $44. And so, let's see, I think I bought it at Gander Mountain on clearance, because it's some of the new ones coming in. And so, you know, there are good tools out there, and I suggest you have one. This can take the place of a tactical knife. It can take the place of one of those, you know, those little string saws. A screwdriver, all that good stuff right in here. I can use a screwdriver to open those big boxes. So I definitely implore you to have a decent tool in your kit. Okay? I think for now that's going to be it. I may shoot another one because I have some other food that I want to talk about. It's more mainstream stuff, but things people don't think about. That should come out, well, I'll say soon. We all know my schedule of videos. So show your neighbor the love of Christ by praying for them too. See ya.